What's going on, Bishas? Welcome back to some Ask Papa Swolio. It's your boy, Papa Swolio, Obvi. And if you want your question featured here on the show, drop your question in the comments down below with the hashtag Ask Papa Swolio right there below the beard, right over like here area, right there. And looking forward to featuring you in an upcoming video, upcoming episode. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more Daily Swole podcast every day. And I do questions every day. And we do Ask Papa Swolio live on Sundays. Full blown. The whole episode is just questions. So tons of stuff right here in the channel. Subscribe for more. Today's question is brought to you by Jonathan Benavides. Good name. Papa Swolio, any advice on eating healthy while living in a hotel? All right. So living in a hotel, you're not staying in a hotel. So you're living there permanently, like you're living in a hotel. All right. I wish I had some more context on this. So living in a hotel, staying in a hotel, being in a hotel, it's different. If you are in a hotel, like let's say you're living there like for a long period of time, get a hot plate. If you don't have access to a kitchen, get a hot plate. You probably have a mini fridge, but most hotels don't have kitchens. They have a microwave. Get a hot plate. Get a hot plate and a pan, and you can cook. You can cook food. Get some Tupperware and stuff, and you cook. You don't need a whole stove. A lot of people think they need a full-blown kitchen. I've lived in places where I didn't have a full kitchen, but I cooked like I did. You can get a hot plate. You can get one of those big pan tray, like cook mukbang type things where you can have like a big skillet where you cook all your stuff on there. You can get a hot plate. You can get all the stuff. You can have a full kitchen. A stove is just a big hot plate with a big box hot plate where you can slide. It's a big oven. You have a toaster oven that can sit on the countertop. You can cook sweet potatoes in there, or you have a big old oven and you can cook potatoes in there. It's just different spaces for different things. So if you're living in a hotel, you're there all the time, get some little basic appliances, super cheap. You can get a hot plate and all that kind of stuff for on the cheap. Go to Target or go to Walmart, something like that. You can get something really decent. You don't need to spend a pretty penny. So let's say you're staying in a hotel. Let's say you're traveling. You could do a couple things. You can cook your food ahead of time, bring it there, and then just heat it up in a microwave or bring it through TSA frozen. You can, if you're driving to hotels, easier for traveling, you can throw a hot plate in your back seat. I mean, Mama Swolio and I, we travel, we bring our little boiling pitcher, right? So we can make water, we can make coffee in a French press. So we bring that. We bring a little hot plate or something. That way we can go and order food, or you can get delivery. If you don't have a car and you're traveling somewhere, you can use Instacart or get food delivered to your hotel, and you can cook it with whatever you have there. So if you don't have access to driving around, I mean, there's different ways to do it, but I brought food fully cooked through TSA. You can order food delivery wherever you are. You could bring a hot plate. You can buy a hot plate and just dispose of it. You can bring one in your luggage. You could bring one in your carry-on. Like you could put one underneath the plane and have like a little mini hot plate where you can cook things when you travel. There's different things. So eating healthy, and a lot of times, even if you order food, there could be some kind of healthy alternatives in the area. I prefer to make all my own food. And considering today with technology, you can order groceries and you can have these things usually accessible. It really depends on if you're saying living in a hotel or staying in a hotel. That's a big difference. Are you driving? Are you flying? Different strategies. So you can certainly order food or make certain food choices if you're traveling somewhere. A lot of times if you go to a supermarket and you find a market, sometimes they have cooked food or food that they can cook for you, or that they can steam, or they can cook certain fish, or you get fish from somewhere. They can actually take the bones out. Different things, different ideas. You can make little meatballs or something like that. There are things you can make ahead of time that you can freeze and you can take there so they're thawing out, or you can heat them up and you have these little grass-fed beef balls or something when you're traveling. So there's a lot of advice, but it really comes down to all those different strategies. Again, strategies are based on an elimination diet. So what I'm talking about mostly is strategies on how to eat healthy. You might be asking on what foods to eat. That comes down to an elimination diet. So if you're not aware of what foods work best for your body, the strategy isn't really the most important thing. It's about what foods work best for you. And then once you know which foods work best for you, then you can strategize, okay, what do I need to make these foods where I'm at? Can I get access to these foods? Do I have to cook these foods? Can I cook them first? Can I bring them? So you see what I'm saying? Strategy versus that foundation. If you don't know what foods work best for your body, then you're just at a loss no matter what. So you have to know which foods are optimal for your body, and then you can decide and narrow down on the strategy. So I'm really more curious as to, that word living that you put there in the question is such like long term, or you're staying in a hotel and you just use that word that it wasn't the best choice of a word for that sentence. Are you looking for strategy or nutrition? So elimination diet to figure out which foods work best for you, and then strategies are endless. You can totally eat healthy when you're traveling. I do it all the time. It depends on if you're flying, if you're driving, if you're doing it long term, if you're bringing a hot plate, if you have access to cooking something, if you have a kitchen in the hotel. It's totally possible. Food's food. And that's just strategy and common sense and figuring it out sometimes. Yeah. I know I gave some gems right there. I gave some gems, but again, I don't know if you're asking about strategy or like what you should be eating, elimination diet style. So if you're interested in learning more about the elimination diet, check out swolenormousx.com, links in the description below, and you can get started by checking out the 7 pillars of Swolenormous, free download at the top. I have tons of podcasts and tons of videos about the elimination diet. So if you want extra context on that, just do a little Google search, Swolenormous and elimination diet. You'll get tons and tons of feedback. But once you know what foods work best for your body, then you can strategize on the methodology of how you approach executing those foods so you have them ready when you need them. Thank you so much for your question. If you have any follow-up with that, Jonathan, drop in the comments below. And if you want your question featured right here on the show, drop in the comments below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio to be featured in an upcoming video. And I'll see you real soon for the next APS. Make sure you subscribe for the Daily Swole podcast, doing some awesome Q&A in every episode, and also on Sundays, Ask Papa Swolio Live, the entire episode, just Q&A. Don't miss it, and see you next time.
Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we